You have no reason to wash your hair 2 times a week or 3 times a week. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yes, I am back with another video, and in today's video I'm gonna be discussing about or talking about 8 bad habits that you are doing. You might know, you might not know, that are actually affecting the growth of your hair. So these are things, some of them are things we hear on a daily basis, but I know as human beings sometimes we tend to be ignorant of certain things. So I'm still going to talk about them in this video, and I hope that after watching this video you are able to take it into consideration and watch how your hair is able to thrive and become healthy. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Coming up at number 1 is excessive use of heat. Yes, I am not saying using heat is bad. I'm just saying making use of it excessively is not healthy for your hair, because it can cause your hair to have heat damage, and I promise you don't want that. It's just going to ruin your coil pattern and make your hair look really dull, which is why most people take precautions like using heat protectants whenever they want to blow out their hair. But still, it's important that you reduce how much heat you use on your hair. Sometimes allowing your hair to air dry might not be the best option, especially if you have really thick hair. Like for me, when I allow my hair to air dry, it doesn't dry properly. If I wake up the following morning, I discover that my hair is still really wet, which is not even healthy for my hair, because at the end of the day, that is moisture overload, which I'm going to get into eventually. And because of that, on most wash days, I just tend to blow out my hair. But when you are doing this, you can actually use minimal heat. Apply your heat protectant. Funny thing is, I don't even use heat protectant. So you can get a heat protectant, apply it, and blow out your hair. Sometimes I blow out my hair in twists, especially when I don't want to do too much. But if I want a really stretched out look, then I go all the way and I make sure I blow out my hair properly. Also, one advice, especially if you're someone that has thick hair like me, instead of blow drying your hair on every wash day, it's okay to actually use blow dryers, but you can use them on low heat. Like I earlier said, my hair doesn't even dry. I'll still wake up with it feeling wet and very heavy, and that also is not healthy for your hair, and it does not make you feel comfortable. So it's better to blow out your hair on low heat, and that way you are making sure that your hair is fully dry before you even go to bed. But if you're someone whose hair does not have a lot of volume, then I think you can actually do a drying, because your hair will dry and you will not experience the same issue as me. And mind you, blow dryers are not the only heat tools. We have coilers, we have flat irons, especially those flat irons. I feel like the damage from those flat irons is even more than blow dryers. But at the end of the day, all I'm trying to say is that you should reduce how much heat you use on your hair, so that you don't ruin your coil pattern and make your hair to become unhealthy. Coming up at number 2 is overwashing or over shampooing of hair, because I know there are some of you that wash your hair 2 or 3 times a week. Before I even explain what this does to your hair, I understand everybody has their own routine, but at the end of the day, I think it's really important to look at how your routine is also impacting the overall growth of your hair. So shampooing your hair like frequently can strip your hair of natural oils, because normally your skin and your scalp produces sebum. It's a natural oil that your body produces on your skin and on your scalp, and this oil is meant to moisturize your hair shaft to make sure that your hair is not too dry, and to also make sure that you easily detangle your hair. So when you overwash your hair, you are stripping your hair of its natural oils. To even make matters worse, if you use shampoos that contain sulfate, that is going to be times 2 of the problem, because shampoos that contain sulfate are extremely drying for your hair. So overwashing your hair is not healthy for your hair, because you are stripping your hair of its natural oils, thereby making your hair more dry and subjecting it to breakage. Because when your hair is too dry, it can lead to breakage, and when breakage happens, you are not able to retain length, thereby making you to be stuck at a particular length. I don't know about you, you can have your own routine, but for me, my own routine is that I wash my hair every 2 weeks. Sometimes I even go longer than that, depending on what life throws at me in that particular period of time. So sometimes I go longer than 2 weeks, sometimes I wash my hair within that 2 weeks mark. You have no reason to wash your hair 2 times a week or 3 times a week, unless maybe there's just excessive buildup from products like gel, leave-in conditioners and stuff like that, and you are feeling really uncomfortable. then you can go ahead and wash your hair in situations like that, because if you don't, you're only causing more harm to your hair and clogging your pores, thereby preventing your hair from growing. Coming up at number 3 is deep conditioning overnight. In fact, I just made a video on this particular topic. It's a detailed video. I'm going to link it up in the description, but I'm going to go ahead and explain a little on deep conditioning your hair overnight. As a matter of fact, deep conditioning your hair overnight leads to something called high growth fatigue, which is as a result of swelling and unswelling of your hair follicles. It can lead to other damages as well, but I'm not going to talk much on this particular topic because I think it's better to go see that video. It explains more and it's really detailed, and you will gain more understanding on what I'm trying to explain. So with that being said, let's move to the 4th point. Coming up at number 4 is over manipulation. Over manipulation can come in different forms. It could be over styling, it could be over combing, it could be over moisturizing, and the list goes on. So when it comes to over styling, you know, our hair likes to be left alone. Like for me, when I do my hairstyling tutorials, I wear that hair for the rest of the week. Sometimes I don't even moisturize for that week, but there are times I take it down, I moisturize, and I style it back. That is if it's an easy hairstyle to, you know, quickly do that. But sometimes I don't even bother moisturizing for that week. I moisturize before doing that hairstyle, and normally my hair is able to retain moisture really well, so I don't even bother moisturizing sometimes during the course of the week. So when you're over styling your hair, like maybe every day you wake up is a new style, that is going to affect your hair. It's going to cause your hair to break a lot. It's going to prevent you from being able to retain length. So over styling is not good for your hair. When you style your hair, you can carry it for like a week or 2 weeks depending on the style that you made and how you're able to, you know, preserve that hair in a good state. Just like I explained about over styling, the same thing applies to over combing, because when you're styling your hair every day, you are definitely combing it every single day, and that is going to prevent you from retaining length, which leads me to my next point. Over moisturizing. You know, too much of everything is actually bad. So over moisturizing can lead to something called moisture overload, which is actually related to deep conditioning overnight, where I spoke about high growth fatigue. They are quite related and they have similar effects on your hair, because when you over moisturize your hair, it becomes limp and you lose your coil pattern. Your hair becomes really dull. And our last point on over manipulation is not working in sections. Working in sections is really important when you keep natural hair, especially when your hair is really thick. For those of you that have thin hair, you can comb everything at once, but trust me, when you have really thick hair and a lot of volume, working in sections is non-negotiable. You have to do that. It's really important. It makes your life easy, and by working in sections, you are making sure that there is even distribution of hair product to every section of your hair. So working in sections is really important, be it when you're styling or when you're doing your wash day. But mostly I discovered that on wash days it's easier to do this. If I'm like restyling my hair after wash day, I don't really bother sectioning and remoisturizing all over again. I just moisturize all at once. But if it's like wash day, I just finished washing my hair and I'm trying to moisturize and, you know, style my hair, I make sure I work in sections, because it actually makes my life really easy. And also, when you are shampooing your hair, that is on wash days, you discover that when you section your hair, maybe you did a purple treatment or not, but you just decided to, you know, twist your hair and wash your hair in twist. Your wash day is so much easier, honestly, than when you decide to wash everything at once. But that is it on this point. So I hope you stop over manipulating your hair, doing things like over combing, over moisturizing, over styling, and lastly, not working in sections. Coming up at number 5 is oiling excessively. I know a lot of us in the natural hair community are obsessed with oiling our hair. I'm not saying it's bad, but if you want to oil your hair, it's advisable you do it 2 to 3 times a week. And it is not advisable to oil your hair every single day of your life. That is wrong. Remember earlier in this video, I told you that your scalp and your skin naturally produce oil known as sebum. So apart from the fact that your scalp is already producing natural oils for you, and you are still applying oils on your scalp every single day, there is a fungi on your scalp that thrives really well in an oily environment. And when you are applying oils on your scalp every day, in addition to the oils that your scalp is naturally producing, this fungi is going to thrive well in that environment, and at the end of the day, you are going to develop dandruff. So if in case you are wondering why you started having dandruff out of nowhere, and you are someone that oils your scalp every single day, this could be the cause of it. And we all know that having dandruff is not a pleasant experience. It's very uncomfortable, it's very itchy. That is something you don't want for yourself. If you are someone that loves to oil your hair a lot, please remember to do this 2 or 3 times a week. That is enough. Your hair does not need a lot of oils. Coming up at number 6 is lack of moisture. Remember I spoke about over moisturizing, but also when your hair lacks moisture, it's going to be dry and it's going to lead to breakage. It is advisable to moisturize your hair only 2 times a week. That is more than enough for your hair. You do not need to moisturize it every single day of your life. And when you fail to moisturize your hair, remember that it can lead to dryness, thereby causing breakage for your hair. And when breakage happens, like I said earlier, you will not be able to retain length. One more thing, if you are someone whose hair is able to retain moisture really well, you might not even need to moisturize 2 times a week. You can just do it when your hair is dry. Sometimes when you take down your hair and you see that it's really dry, you go ahead and moisturize it. So with that being said, remember to moisturize your hair so that you prevent it from dryness and prevent it from breaking off. Coming up at number 7 is not trimming dead ends or split ends. Let me clarify one thing. I want you to know that trimming off split ends does not help your hair to grow. It rather prevents your hair from further damage. When you have split ends and you don't trim them off, it's just going to keep breaking. And you know our ends are the oldest and most fragile parts of our hair. So when you don't trim off those split ends, it's going to keep breaking and it's going to get to the healthy parts of your hair as well. So at the end of the day, you discover that your hair is breaking, is cutting, and you are not able to retain length. A lot of the points I've given all boils down to retaining length, because I know how obsessed we are with having long hair. So if you don't do these things, just know that you are not going to achieve that length that you so much desire. So it's really important for you to trim off your split ends so that it does not break and affect the rest of your hair. And last but not the least, number 8 is not making use of satin pillowcase, bonnet, or scarf. It's no news that I don't like bonnets. They just cause a lot of heat for me, so I always use scarf. But if you're someone that does not like bonnets and does not like scarf, you can go for a satin pillowcase. This helps us to be able to retain moisture in our hair, because when you use normal cotton material, maybe normal cotton pillowcase or normal hair tie, those are all good absorbents of moisture or water. So you are going to be losing a lot of moisture from your hair, and it's going to lead to dryness. And what did I say? Dryness is going to lead to breakage, and breakage is going to cause you not to be able to retain length. So you see how all this is connected and how important it is. And this reminds me, I also made a video on basic hair tools where I spoke about scarf, I spoke about bonnets, I spoke about other hair tools, and I think you should also see that video. So I'm going to link it up in the description for you. And with that being said, we have come to the end of our video. I hope I was able to actually provide value in this video for you, and I hope that you will go back and implement all the things I've said. So on this channel, we do anything surrounding natural hair, be it hair care tips, be it natural hairstyling tutorials. We also create makeup content. We also do lifestyle content. So if that sounds like what interests you, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that you're notified whenever I put out a new video. Thank you all for staying to the end of my video, and I'll see you guys in the next. Okay, bye.